Have you ever wondered who'd survive a nuclear fallout? I'm talking fish, real fish, and things that squish. Welcome to the Aquatic News Network, where we bring the stories of the water to life. Today, deep trouble or deep survivors. Brought to you by the brine and brain of me, live from 6,000 meters below the sea level. Good evening, oceanographers, krill chasers, and all you radioactive romantics tuning in from across the seven seas. I'm Tommy, coming to you from my very own Mariana Trench fallout shelter where the pressure's high, but our standards are even higher. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered who'd survive a nuclear fallout? Not the doomsday preppers in the Mojave Desert. Not Jeff from accounting with his basement full of canned beans that you wonder if they're actually beans or not. I'm talking fish, real fish, and things that squish. So buckle your kilt belts, folks. It's time to get to the nitty gritty and solve this mystery once and for all. Let's start strong with the creatures so tough they make cockroaches look like souffles, the tardigrade. Not a fish, but an honorary member of Team Water. These microscopic bears survive radiation, dehydration, space, lava, and worst of all, Twitter discourse. Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by a tardigrade's refusal to die.
Oh, crikey.
Seem to have fallen down a cliff. I'm still alive, but I'm very badly injured. I think my legs might be broken, but I'll try to stand up. Ah!
Okay, maybe not, but you've got to respect the hustle. Now let's get even weirder. Let's talk Thermococcus gametolerans. That's an airful. A microbe that thrives near hydrothermal vents where water is acidic, scalding, and wildly radioactive. In short, they survive where brunch is definitely not an option. These microbes make their living off chemicals, not sunlight. So if the surface goes kaput, they're down here partying like it's the Precambrian. Hagfish, deep sea isopods, and the honorable scalyfoot snail. These low energy legends live slow, produce slime, and avoid conflict like the introverts at a company retreat. Radiation, disruption, they're already several thousand meters away from that mess. Their motto, out of sight, out of fallout. If given the chance to become a hagfish and avoid all post-apocalyptic drama, press your imaginary slime buttons now. So to answer the question, would aquatic species survive a nuclear war? Some absolutely would, but it wouldn't be the dolphins with their fancy sonar or the angelfish with their glowing Instagram filters. It'd be the weirdos like us. The deep dwellers, the microbes, the mucus makers, nature's unassuming champions, lurking in the depths, quietly judging us for thinking we ever ran this planet. From the Seabed Newsroom, I'm Tommy reminding you if you want to survive the end of the world, maybe you just need to live like you already have. This broadcast was brought to you by Barnacle Beats, now streaming underwater lo-fi to study or mutate to. Stay spongy, stay curious, and remember, it's not the survival of the prettiest, it's the survival of the slimy. Good evening, Aquanauts. I'm Tommy.
And I'm Jesse. Tonight, we're taking a deep dive into the battle between nanotank minimalists and megatank maestros, and exploring the CRISPR revolution that's rewriting the genetic code of ornamental fish.
Nanotanks are precision ecosystems. Every element is carefully curated, from the substrate grain size to the exact wattage of LED lighting. The appeal, minimalism, efficiency, and artistic control. Nanokeepers often follow the Takashi Amano school of aquascaping, where a single rock or driftwood piece serves as a focal point. The Dutch-style aquascapers, on the other hand, cram their tanks with lush plant growth, creating a miniature jungle in just a few gallons.
Let's talk about the mega side, shall we? The big aquariums. My favorite thing. I don't mess around with those little baby tanks. Mega tank, however, are living ecosystems on an epic scale. The sheer volume of water allows for natural biological balance, meaning water changes and more stable parameters. Mega keepers often replicate entire biomes, Amazonian blackwater setups, African Rift Lake cichlid colonies, or full-on scale paludariums with land bridges and waterfalls. They're also great, and I always tell the beginner fish keeper to go with a bigger tank, because you're most likely going to go to a bigger tank in the future, and it allows for more air that the new beginner fish keeper tends to have.
Nanotanks are delicate. A single overfed mill can spike ammonia levels, leading to dangerous toxicity. That's why nanokeepers obsess over filtration, debating the merits of sponge versus cartridge filters and whether bottled bacteria can truly jumpstart a cycle.
Mega tanks, on the other hand, have buffering power. A 500-gallon system can absorb small fluctuations in waste production without catastrophic consequences. As I discussed a little bit ago. That's why mega keepers chain link canister filters, install UV sterilizers, or even seed their tanks with live microfauna to create a self-sustaining ecosystem.
Nano minimalists focus on artistic precision. Every element is intentional, from the placement of a single Anubias leaf to the exact height of a rock formation. The goal, a zen-like underwater masterpiece.
Mega builders, however, aim for ecological authenticity. They recreate entire river systems, complete with seasonal water fluctuations, natural predatory-prey interactions, and even biotope-specific lighting cycles.
CRISPR, Cas9, is revolutionizing ornamental fish breeding. Scientists can now edit pigment genes, creating fluorescent guppies that glow under actinic LEDs. Dr. Huyn's team at Aquagene Labs reports 80% success in inserting GFPs, green fluorescent protein sequences, into Poecilia reticulata embryos.
They monitor off-target mutations via next-generation sequencing, ensuring that no Frankenstein fish emerge from the process. But ethical debates are bubbling up. Is genetic modification conservation, or is it vanity? Something to think about.
Nano or mega, tradition or biotech, one thing is for sure. The fish keeping hobby never stops evolving.
Next week on Under the Surface, we'll tackle AI-driven aquarium controllers and the race to 24/7 water chemistry automation. Something you're definitely going to want to keep up and stay tuned on.
Until then, keep your pH stable, your fish healthy, and your curiosity ever buoyant.
Good night.
Good night. Aquatic News Network special report: The Immortal Salamander. How the axolotl became a global icon while disappearing at home. Tonight, we follow a creature worshipped by gods, engineered by nature, and trending across the globe. The axolotl, adorable, immortal, and misunderstood. Long before it conquered YouTube and plush toy shelves, the axolotl was a myth, named for the Aztec god Axolotl, a shape-shifting deity who hid from sacrifice by diving into a lake and becoming a salamander. Today, that lake is nearly gone, and the god still swimming. Sort of. In tonight's showdown, salamander science versus superhero fiction. Tonight, let's find out whether the axolotl can pair up its healing abilities with that of one of comic book's favorites, Logan. Yes, we're talking Wolverine. First up, speed. Wolverine heals in seconds. Axolotls take their sweet time. Round 1 goes to Logan. And their complexity. Axolotls regrow hearts, spinal cords, and brain bits. Wolverine just doesn't die. Axolotl wins that flex. And their scientific value. Axolotls are helping researchers explore regenerative medicine. Wolverine is helping cinema explore Hugh Jackman's limits. Call it a salamander slam dunk. Winner, the axolotl, because sometimes the real heroes regrow quietly. Inside the axolotl's squishy frame lies a biological marvel, a creature that rewires its tissues, reprograms its wounds, and doesn't scar. It's not just surviving, it's editing itself. Researchers have mapped its enormous genome, which is 10 times bigger than ours, and they are barely scratching the surface. While it dominates tanks and timelines, the axolotl is nearly gone in the wild. Fewer than 1,000 remain in Mexico's Xochimilco canals. Urban growth, introduced predators, and toxic runoff have broken the ecosystem apart. Once a deity's refuge, the lake system is now a labyrinth of threats. Axolotls aren't just in labs, they're legends. They've gone digital. In Minecraft, they're fearless allies in underwater combat. In Stardew Valley, they hang in your fish pond, just vibing. And in Spiritfarer, they've become a shimmering, tender companion in the afterlife. Maybe it's the eternal smile, maybe it's the chill factor. Either way, they've earned a bonus life in our hearts and our games. Not all stories end in extinction. In Xochimilco, conservationists are reviving the canals with floating gardens called chinampas, refuge islands for salamanders. Locals and scientists are growing clean water corridors and launching breeding sanctuaries, with each hatchling a tiny pulse of hope. Because even legends deserve a comeback tour. From ancient gods to retro avatars, the axolotl bridges worlds, a creature born of myth, saved by science, and carried forward by story.